Today, we're going to be talking about some evidence-based, powerful brain exercises that are going to help you dial down the volume of your pain. And be sure to watch till the end because I'm going to be talking about free PDF downloads that you can retrieve. Greetings. It's nice to see you again. Today, we're going to be talking about brain exercises, and it's not this type of exercise. Yeah, but it is definitely called an exercise that when you're retraining your brain, you are doing brain exercises. So I just wanted you to know that it is valid as an exercise, but you're not going to be having to lift weights. The exciting thing about neuroplasticity, it was way back in the 1990s when two scientists discovered new things about how you could remap your brain to process the pain signals. The first one was a scientist by the last name of Ramachandran. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name. I did the best I could. He developed the mirror box, which was a revolutionary way to work with patients that had phantom limb pain. And that's where a person undergoes an amputation, whether it was an arm or a leg or even a foot or even a hand. And after the amputation, they still had feelings. And an example would be, let's say this hand was amputated. And then I would still have feelings that my fingers are cramped or tingling or burning. And that's called phantom limb pain. And the scientists discovered that if you take a mirror and you put the right hand on the mirror, so it looks like your left hand still exists. In my case, I'm using that as an example, and kept moving that right hand, that it felt comfortable, and you kept telling your brain, because you were seeing it in the mirror here. And there you were seeing your left hand moving and feeling good. And they would have the patients do that over and over throughout the day. And it suddenly started turning down the pain signals. And it was a magical, amazing thing, so simple that you put a mirror box, they call it, next to where, at the place where the limb is missing, whether, again, it's the lower limb or your arm or hand. And that's how you would retrain your brain. You would have your brain looking into the mirror and thinking it sees that the amputated appendage was still there because it was in the mirror. And that's how you did the new neural pathways. And the other scientist was, this is another difficult word, last name, Mezernich, I think. And again, excuse me if I didn't pronounce it right. I'm trying the best I can. Mezernich, I think it is. He discovered the plasticity, and that's where you get the term neuroplasticity of the brain at any age can be rewired. And you're maybe wondering about, the term neuroplasticity, rewiring the brain, the plastic nature of the brain. And the best way I found when I work with clients is to explain, if you picture yourself in a forest and a big sequoia tree, you always walked around it. And then there was a terrible storm, lightning hit it, the tree fell down. And that pathway that you were always walking on, when you enjoyed your time in the forest, you couldn't go down it any longer. So you had to forge another pathway. And the other new pathway wasn't, the ground cover, all the different plants and the bush that you'd have to walk through. It was still intact. So you would be walking and you'd start putting a pathway in there. You were creating a new pathway. And that's basically what neuroplasticity exercises do to your brain. You create a new neural pathway. And so today, by the end of our video, you'll have learned a couple of these neuroplasticity exercises that you could do in your own home to help dial down the feelings of pain. And the idea about doing neuroplasticity exercises is that you're teaching your brain to re-engage in a different way to the sensations that are coming up through your body to say, hey, I'm in pain. The certain part of your body that is afflicting you with chronic pain, whether it's your wrist, your fingers, your jaw, low back, whatever your pain expression is in your body, you're going to be working with that because that's part of the brain. It's going to come in and, right now it's saying I'm a high level of pain and you're going to be working with that. So please join me come along with me to do a couple of these exercises. And I want you to make sure that you feel comfortable in your house, that you're in a safe position. You're not listening to this as you're walking someplace or even in the car. Make sure you're ready to do the exercise and that you feel okay. And simply, you you could observe it if you don't feel comfortable. You could just listen to me talk about the exercises, just so you're learning about them. This is Editor Bonnie here to tell you about the exercises you're going to be hearing about in this video. I want you to know they're very useful, but do not use them when you're having a flare-up. Use them when you're having moderate pain. Also, you should start slow, maybe 3 to 5 minutes for each exercise. The other thing is that you could choose to use all three at different times during the day and make it part of a ritual that you do. Some people enjoy doing it upon waking up in the morning. Other people like doing the exercises at night, right before they go to bed. So you just select and make it work for you. That's the important thing. And after the first couple of weeks, you may want to expand the time that you're using them. And you may want to discard one or two. I think you'll find at least one out of the three helpful. Many people mix and match and use all three. So now back to the regular programming. For our first exercise today, I want to talk to you about setting up the environment for comfort and to help make these exercises that I'm going to be talking about even more successful. And it actually requires, at no cost, it requires that you listen to some music. Now, I'd like you to choose soothing music that you are comfortable with, that maybe you have a memory about. You can stream it on your phone, on your tablets, on your computer, however you listen to the music. It would be nice to have it in the background. And you could also add, rather than just straight music, there's something called bilateral music. Now, I use bilateral music when I do these exercises. You can find different types of bilateral music on YouTube. There's other people, you could download it probably from apps and everything. And what bilateral music is, it's sounds that alternate. You wear your earphones or your ear pods or whatever your listening device is. It's important that you have that on when you listen, because the tones are going to go back and forth, back and forth. You're going to hear stimulation here and then stimulation there and stimulation here. And that's to get some communication going back and forth. Some people say it's based on EMDR, which is a therapy to deal with stress and trauma, and that they claim that that comes from the basis of that. Other people say no, that doesn't come from that, but whatever the origin of it is soothing, and it does relieve your body, and it's a very, I believe, an effective science-based way to feel more comfortable if you have chronic pain. So whatever type of music you choose, whether it's your favorite oldie, calm music, soothing music, or you find the new bilateral music on YouTube. You can scroll through there and find many different types. They have natural, nature going back and forth in each ear. So you're setting your environment. You're comfortable. You're in your home. You're in a position that's comfortable for you. And the first thing that we're going to do is called the paintbrush. So you have the music going on. And what you do, you can close your eyes and relax your shoulders and get into a comfortable state. And you imagine a brush with cooling, soothing colors of paint. Maybe what soothing paint to you, maybe blues, greens, lavenders, pinks, whatever looks soothing to you. In hospitals, if you notice, they have certain colors that they paint the waiting room. And that's because there is a psychological impact of color. And you're in a bright environment with reds and orange and yellow, and that gives you an energy. And you don't need the energy right now. You need to calm yourself. So you're going to choose calming colors. And when you're going to, eyes closed with a huge brush, you're going to paint over the areas that are causing you great discomfort. And you're going to paint layers of it over you. You have your eyes closed and you have your imaginary brush painting over it. Let's say you have pain in your jaw. So you're going to be painting with your imaginary brush up and down with these very soothing colors. And then you may move to your neck because you get tension from, even though your jaw hurts, maybe your neck starts aching down the back. And you're going to go through your body and paint different colors. And, this may sound silly, but you are engaging your brain, and your brain is starting to respond to those pain areas in a different way. Rather than sensations, your brain's being challenged to see colors, even when your eyes are closed, you can imagine colors. And that's what this neuroplasticity exercise is all about, is engaging the brain to respond to the pain areas in a different way. So that's exercise number one. And now again, you don't have to have the bilateral music going on. You could have just soothing, you could have ocean music, you could have bird music, any kind of music. But it's really good to start doing a ritual where you're going to do an exercise, so you're going to put some comforting music on. So that's exercise number one, the paintbrush. The next one I call time travel. It's a time travel tool that you can use. And that's where you're sitting engaged with, again, comfortable music. And I want you close your eyes and you think about a time before you had the pain in your body. I want you to think about a really fun memory, something that comes to mind, that maybe you went to visit some best friend. Maybe you went to a wedding. Maybe there's some joyous event within your city. You went to a parade and it was very exciting to see the parade. Or maybe if you're a parent, you took your child to a circus or the zoo, and your children are really excited. And I want you to remember that, and remember and think about your body then. What did your body feel like then? Maybe you weren't even thinking about your body because you're engaged with what was going on all around you. And that memory is really important because you leverage that memory. You have your body back then. And that was before the pain, before pain. And that was your living fully, and you did not have the pain. And I'm not having you go back so you can mourn and wish, oh, gee, I wish I had that now, and look at you now. I want to caution you. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is letting your body remember, your brain remember, what was it like when you could move and you could go buy treats for your child at the zoo. They used to sell snow cones and cotton candy, or maybe you got peanuts to feed the seals. When I took my niece there once, that's what we did. Or maybe you saw your child on a merry-go-round and the excitement, and the child's exhilarated. And there you were standing, and pain was not even a consideration in your body. So you need to pick favorite times in your life when you did not have any pain. And you do it in a joyous way, not mourning like, oh, I can't do that again. That's not why you're doing it. You're using that experience as a rich history that's going to help you now. It's going to help your brain remember how it was in the body and how you were getting sensations and the excitement. And maybe it was a cold, brisk day. And then you remember what the weather was like and what did you wear and what did you do? And maybe you had a snack, and maybe you had a special coffee drink, maybe something, an activity. So I want you to think of all the sensory things that went on that day. And that is time travel. So again, you have some nice calming music in the background and you are retraining your brain. And the third one we're going to talk about today is pain radio. And I know I always use the metaphor about turning down the volume of your pain. So what's important is you feel that you have some management and control of your pain. And it's, that it may be a sledgehammer that you feel, that's what your pain is. Like I've shared often, that my pain was the bonfire I had down the whole left side of my body and burning in my neck. And my history is I can remember standing, talking to a gentleman, having an interesting conversation, but I felt like somebody had a blowtorch right on my neck. So that's not before the pain history I would take. When I was working on doing the neuroplasticity exercises, I had to go way back before time because I had to deal with 30 years of pain. So I had to go back when I was quite a bit younger to recall those times where I had enjoyment. And so I want to ask you to think about, turning down the pain volume. Imagine your pain, instead of high volume, it's less volume. And there's subtle changes as the volume decreases, the pain. And the way it does is you think, okay, I can turn this switch. And as I turn the switch, maybe I'll relax the muscles in my shoulders. And maybe I'll make sure to relax my jaw muscles and just feel some warmth of my blood flowing better. And my shoulders are relaxing and you're getting into a relaxed state. And that is, mindfulness, but it's also turning down the pain volume. So these, I gave you 3 exercises. They're very tiny little exercises. There's no cost for you to have to buy anything to do them. You don't have to buy a paintbrush. I believe almost everybody I've ever talked to, they have free access to music. So you have that access to music. You have your memories. And so I wish you well in practicing some of these exercises. And I will be in future videos talking about further neuroplasticity exercises because there's many different things that you can be doing. There's also the sensory ones, which I will be reviewing for you. And if you go to bonnielester.com, you can request a PDF on sensory stimulation exercises, which is neuroplasticity exercises. So until next time, bye for now. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, give it a quick like and hit the subscribe button to catch my daily shorts and weekly videos like this one. And here's something special. I personally respond to every comment, so drop your thoughts below. And don't forget to grab your free pain relief guide PDFs at bonnielester.com. Again, that's bonnielester.com.